All right, so looks like we're live, guys. Welcome back to our office hours.
Look at us, 105.
Right,
Look at
this is
us.
this is the Foundry with Brian and Brian. Here we talk about marketing, teaching you the basic skills, and really getting you minimum viable uh, solutions as opposed to these high complex ones. Last week we had another kind of a conversation about a variety of topics. This week is going to be a little bit more unstructured, the same way. But the premise is you just need more reps, and I think that that's true across all marketing. And so, before we get too far into it, this episode has been brought to you by the Foundry's Client Clarity System. Client Clarity System is a custom GPT that Brian built and informed with our knowledge, and so it really helps you find your ideal customer and create content specifically to talk to that customer. Right now, we have it at $17 to help us out with some of the hosting stuff. It's available in the Foundry, which is school.com/Foundry in the classroom. Come join in. The Foundry is free, doesn't cost you any money, costs you nothing, but get in here and get access to the client clarity system at least, even if you never watch our stuff.
That's right. Yeah, the Foundry's free, but you have to join the Foundry. That's our only caveat. We force you to join the Foundry, which is free again, um, to get access to some of these products that we release. And they're not just these paid products. We have courses and little mini courses and stuff that we're putting in there all the time, updating it, um, that are free.
Right.
So um, why not join it? It's free. Come in, take a look, say hi. Um, you get access to us. You get access to um, the community,
Mhm.
and it's a good little community that we hope to grow to a massive community at some point.
Right. And I mean, we're really no BS with it. We want business owners or people that are interested in being business owners. Um, and so that's why we've kind of kept the community small because I think having that alignment and purpose allows us to really laser focus in on things that are going to help. And so we can create more tools and more teachings around things that could benefit business owners because that's really who this is for. Um, One of the things Brian and I were just talking about off stream is oftentimes marketers have the hardest time marketing themselves. And so this isn't necessarily easy for either one of us, but it's, the thing that we'll tell you to do, we have to take our own advice.
Right.
Sometimes you just need another at bat. We need to take another swing and pitch the thing that we're trying to pitch. So,
Yeah. So I was the one kind of having a therapy session with Brian before the show here, and I'm having sort of an existential crisis. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but um, I need to figure out what my lane or my style of content is that makes it easy for me to produce the content. Um, I've spent years. I have countless hundreds of hours of videos that I've deleted or never posted
mhm.
because it just didn't feel right for whatever reason. I didn't like the way I sound or look or whatever. I'm not really afraid to be on camera or afraid to be in front of people or afraid to speak to a camera or anything like that. None of that is what affects me. It's the actual end product that I struggle with. And like, did I say everything I needed to say? And then Brian's helping me a little bit because
Yeah.
he's like, no, it's good is good enough. Don't worry about getting everything in. If you miss something, hit it next week or hit it in the next video. You know, and I think what I'm kind of landing on after our discussion is that I'm gonna do similar to this. I'm gonna do my own for 531 Labs. I'm gonna do my own office sessions where I just get on live stream and kind of talk about the industry,
Mhm.
um, how the marketing industry is working for local businesses or owner operator type businesses, um, and how how that industry looks and how marketing works in those industries, and just kind of shoot the shit with on a live stream rather than try to do produced videos and editing and all that stuff. Because one thing that it doesn't get said out loud, but one thing with live stream No
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah. You
There's
guys
no
got
editing.
you just got to go with it. And I think that takes a little bit of pressure off you because I mean, if you slip up a word, you don't even have time to process it. Um, just because you're moving so fast. I think that's the important piece of it, and that's the clarity that a live stream brings. I know a lot of people are scared of it. They might say something weird or anything along those lines. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Um, you have to get old. There's a part of you where you're gonna have to get over it. The other part is you're not even gonna remember it when you're on the live stream. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I tell my clients, I try to push my clients away. Uh, I try to push them far and far away uh, from editing videos, is because instantly it puts you in the skeptic's role. It puts you in the critic's role, and you don't want to be in that when you're first starting out, trying to get proficient in making content. You never
Yeah.
want to be in that position. And so live streams, like that's how I got comfortable doing it. And so, last night I ended up with my first actual troll. I had multiple trolls on my, live stream, and it was kind of a feather in my cap, like, "Okay, now the trolls are finally discovering me. All I gotta do is just click this and ban you from the account permanently, and away we go."
Yeah.
And so but I think the challenge is sometimes is getting outside of your own head.
100%. We are our own worst enemy. The only thing stopping us is us. You know, all those sayings and quotes, they seem like pointless platitudes at this point, but they're real. They're true. You know, you are your
Right.
own worst enemy. You are your worst critic. The only person that can change you is you. That kind of shit. So
Well, and even from a marketing standpoint, like even if you're not doing videos, as a business owner, I know you can get really self-conscious making a post on social media about your business.
hmm
Um, I've done it where I've built an entire ad on Facebook, you know, typed it all out, got it all right and everything, and then accidentally allowed Facebook to do whatever they do with the ad creative, where they use their little AI model to make
right.
ads,
Yep.
and it started putting, like, the prompt that the Facebook literally put the prompt it used into my ad. So it made it look like my ad was all AI generated,
Right.
and it was not. And, I mean, that's embarrassing, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can just pull it down and start over again, and I think when sometimes even when we talk about our business, we worry about saying things wrong so much that we never make content saying what's right
Right.
out of fear of saying what's wrong.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm a kind of a double edged sword of negativity for my own content, where it's like I want it to look a certain way, and if it doesn't, then I scrap it.
Mhm.
And then I do a lot of pre planning and pre production stuff that is really a distraction. And I found it interesting the other day. So real side quest here. I
Mhm.
switched from ChatGPT to Claude. I finally made the jump, and I'm using it. I'm using it more. I'm still using ChatGPT, but I'm transitioning over to Claude, and I'm about 60% Claude, 40% ChatGPT now.
Mhm.
Claude literally said in the chat, it said, "I'm not going to give you any more uh, help with this stuff and analyzing the stuff that you're telling me to do. You need to go shoot this video." So I know that I need to just stop. If the computers and robots are telling me it's not going to do it, and I wrote back, "Who are you to tell?
Yeah.
I'm in charge here." So but yeah, man, if when the robots are telling me that you're distracting yourself and you need to go just shoot the video and get your reps in,
Mhm.
I think it's time to listen.
And I think that, and again, that's the hardest part because getting started is the hardest part. That's why I'm beating a dead horse. I'm about to repeat myself. Start with live video. You literally could record, go live, and have the audience be only you, but at least you created the thing
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I would rather you do that than to if you really hung up about it to go out and try to do this all production value and everything, shoot live video. And content doesn't have to just be video. Like you can use written
Yeah.
content, you can use photography. There's so many different avenues for you to use stuff that really the choices are limitless. People are making from a business standpoint, people are building audiences and doing business in a variety of different formats. There are people that just do newsletters, written newsletters, and that's their entire business model.
I get so upset with my, clients and stuff, and I get even more upset with myself when it's like it's not rocket science. It really is not. Being able to even produce different forms of media, like you're saying, like it's not hard for you to spend half a day, one time a week getting your content done.
Mhm.
And just you got to lock in and do it and put a a live stream out, take a couple photos, in the office or wherever, post those in your business, um, write a blog, put it on LinkedIn as a newsletter or a blog or post or whatever,
Right.
things like that. And it's not hard stuff. And it's like, why can't we? I think what as marketers I get hung up on is like I have to track it. I have to make sure it leads somewhere. I have to make sure there's a call to action and this content needs to be intentional or else I'm just putting up content for content's sake. And it's like all that noise. And you're like, just you got to tell yourself to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Just get your right now 50 videos. Like my goal is 50 videos. Don't worry about what's going on. Don't worry about pushing them to your sales page or pushing them to like, a call or anything.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it, just get the reps in.
I had a friend and a client of mine. He said, I'm a live stream every day for 100 days consecutively." And that's what he did. And he short like, now he's a proficient at being online. And he took basically 3 years worth of experience, condensed it down to 100 days.
Right.
That's how you do it. You keep getting up at your at bats.
I
And
mean,
so,
inherently you're gonna learn shit just by doing that.
right.
I mean, and I'm not even talking about the video part. I'm talking about you're gonna learn what resonates more. You're gonna learn what comes easy to you speak about more. You're gonna learn how to post and when to post. You're gonna learn
Mhm.
all sorts of shit from just putting the reps in. Like you were saying, you can say it better because the analogy's yours,
Mhm.
but like free throws. Go with
Yeah.
that analogy that you gave me. Like use that as the analogy that I'm trying to articulate.
So I'm the co-owner and co-lead of a basketball training business and nonprofit. And the way I put it is, if we had a kid that came to coach and his parents asked, "How do we fix his free throws? What do we need to do?" Coach is going to tell him, "You need to shoot more free throws." Like he's going to correct the form, but he's going to just tell you need to shoot more free throws because that's the only way it's going to work. You have to put in the reps. And oftentimes we have the full capacity. We have the capability to do a lot of things. We just never put in the reps to get super proficient or comfortable at it. I mean, it's the weight training analogy. You can lift more than you think you can lift. But the reason why you can't lift as much as you think you should be able to lift is because your form isn't to where it's optimized to do the lift. Once you learn the form, you can push and pull and lift a heck of a whole lot more than you could ever imagine. But you got to get your form down. And oftentimes with the, specifically with the video, with the content creation muscle, if you don't flex it, um, you don't really get you're not going to get the benefit of it.
Yeah, what's that old saying that amateurs practice till they get it right, professionals do it till they can't get it wrong.
Yeah. That, I played it till my thumbs bled, till my hands bled. I mean, that's how I learned guitar, or at least when I started learning guitar, I got all the
Hmm.
calluses on my fingers and everything.
Yeah.
Never got good at it, but it was something I was getting better at when I was focusing on it.
Right.
I think, I think, oftentimes we're scared of the reps because you're scared of getting judged on your reps. Like, I still get scared about missing on a squat. Like, that's a nightmare in the back of my brain because it's happened to me before in a gym full of people and I missed on the squat. Somebody came over, helped me up. Hey man, you've been doing a lot. Hey, I thought you had it. Yeah, I did too. It wasn't embarrassing. I survived it and
Right.
I
Didn't
moved
die.
on. All right. We didn't die. And sometimes that's as good as it can go. Well, I put out this, this Facebook post for my business and nobody responded to it. Well, did you die? Well,
No.
no. Okay, then put out another one.
Actually, no one saw it.
Yeah. Nobody saw it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Sometimes that's the best option.
Hell yeah. And that's the reality on YouTube and stuff, right? Like, especially YouTube. Like, I could do 50 videos in the next 50 days,
Hmm.
and there's a good chance, there's a high probability that they won't get viewed.
Yeah. And that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
It's not
know,
good or bad, right? Like, it's
there are people out there that were absolutely ruined by their first viral video because it happened too early. And now they're
right.
chasing that and they'll never get it back. They'll never know what it was because they didn't put the reps in to recognize, well, this is the signal that is fundamentally different,
Right.
right? This is the thing that's different than that changed the game for me in terms of this specific video going viral. I think people, you overestimate that. Like I said, my first viral video was one I did not want to go viral. I had no interest in it going viral whatsoever, and it took
Right.
off. And I panicked and deleted it. Like, nope, 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 delete. It just
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's, as marketers, another problem. Well, I know that some people, and myself included, run into are that I try to. You always want to put your best foot forward, like in case it goes viral, in case you get traffic. Make sure you have links in the description, and make sure
Hmm.
all that shit is, it's not bad,
Hmm.
not inherently. But it's when you haven't produced a video, that's just distraction to make you not produce another video.
Right. So I'm gonna put everybody's mind at ease. Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Hey, Josh.
I'm gonna put everybody's mind at ease, specifically when it comes to YouTube. TikTok is kind of the same way, even though it might be a little bit different. Instagram's kind of the same way. Facebook's kind of the same way. Most people don't watch your video as much as they listen to your video.
That's
So
fair.
if you think you have a weird expression on your face or you're not happy with the lighting, understand that most people they're listening to your video. So they may have it in the car. It may pop up while they're driving from point A to point B. They're listening to what you say, not watching your face. Um, and even if they're just sitting at the house, they may turn on your video to go do something else.
Right.
And they just want to absorb the information. So most people aren't watching; they're just listening to what you're saying.
That's a good side quest, real quick. I'm curious. I thought I heard that um, YouTube viewing is now majority TV.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I think so. But we also got to factor in they created an entire uh, app that's its own its own version of Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well,
so it's Sling TV.
right.
So I could see where
I'm
that
looking it up
is.
and see. Oh no, it's not majority. I'm sorry. I'm misquoting the article because I found the article. It's rising significantly. It's up to almost 15% is of all YouTube is watched on TV,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is wild to me.
that's what I started. I mean, I started when I started really watching YouTube videos and locking in on it as my primary source of entertainment. Like I would watch them on my Roku upstairs in the bedroom. It drove my wife nuts. Like, can we watch regular television? I'm so sick of like BuzzFeed videos and you know it turned to something else. But yeah, I could see it. But like I said, most people are listening to your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
not watching it. And I feel like we often use that as our reason to not. Well, if they see me, then they'll like if they see you, they don't even care.
Right.
It's like when you present, like when you're in front of if you ever got to present in front of the big huge group of the big huge audience, you finally get a chance to have your TED talk, right?
Right.
Most people are they're not thinking anything of you because they're bored, and it doesn't have anything you don't have anything to do with making them bored. That's just where they are.
Yeah. I could tell you I've been in front of large crowds in a band back in my early 20 days. I opened up for Afro Man one night,
All
and
right.
we were terrified. Um, they had some lady on before. They basically pulled her off stage. She was so terrible, and they said, "You guys are on next." And we were supposed to have like another hour or so.
Hmm.
So that added to the anxiety. And what I can tell people, like for like stage stuff, is that when you get on stage, you can't see anybody.
Right.
There's too many lights.
Right.
So it's very comforting actually, because you can just the crowd's there obviously because it's a big crowd. But you can't see them, and that helps. And that's how I've kind of approached. That's how I kind of got over like being on camera and stuff too. Is that you just you're talking to a friend,
Hmm.
and that's how you have to treat it. My problem is I'm one of those guys that needs triggers. I respond better than I don't know. I don't even know the opposite of that. Than like just spitting out words.
Hmm.
I'm a responder. Someone has to trigger me and give me like, what do you think of this? Boom, I can go off.
Right. I get it. So, because the other side is hosting your own show can be daunting too.
Yeah.
And I've done it with a co-host, and I've also done it by myself. Um, and it's a skill that you learn
Hmm.
because you start thinking about, is anybody watching this? Am I boring people? And finally, the thing I got over is, well, if I'm boring people, they can go do something else.
Hmm.
You know, they'll click off. It's not my job. It's not my job as much to entertain as to do my best job to share what to say what I
Right.
want to say. But if they're not engaged with it, they're not going to engage with it. And that's just, I can't force them to care.
Yeah. I did a whole. I since deleted them. I actually don't know if I deleted these ones, but and Brian knows this. This is
Mhm.
probably 3 4 months ago. I did kind of a Pat McAfee ESPN style um, marketing type of show. I filmed them. I did 2 or 3 of them, and they just it's too hard. It's
Mhm.
not I felt it felt performative. That's a big thing with me. I don't like feeling like I'm putting on an act.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I get that.
it really irks me, and then it lives rent free in my head for like the whole while I'm trying to do it, you know? I'm like, "You're such a fake," you know?
Well, so I'll ask you a question because this is the thing I teach a lot of clients is build out your media room. And it doesn't have to be a room. It can be a corner. It can be
Mhm.
somewhere in your car. It could be in your house, somewhere where you consistently can sit down, push a button and turn on and start recording video. Look at it like this. If you watch Good Morning America, how often do they change that set?
They got 3 or 4 looks, that's it.
Right. The lights always are in the same place. They're always the same. They flip the switch on. The lights are always at the same temperature.
Mhm.
Right. The cameras are always dialed into their specific settings. That entire studio is a plug and play studio. They can flip a switch, turn on a camera, and the control room can be up and running, and they're broadcasting that show quickly because that's the thing that makes the most sense for them. Even
Mhm.
when you watch like sitcoms and stuff, most sitcoms don't have a whole lot of different sets. Like it's a different look when they're traveling around and doing stuff. Most sitcoms, most television shows happen in one location.
Mhm.
You know, it's a principal location. So, Grey's Anatomy happens at the hospital or in somebody's apartment. But they probably got one or two apartment rooms or rooms on the studio set that are apartment rooms so that they
Mhm.
can be at such and such as apartment. Even professional television studios, the people that record daily, they dial in their settings and then it's a plug and play kind of thing. All they got to do is flip a switch and hit a button and they're up and running. They don't sit around and fiddle around with lights or formats or anything. They
Yeah.
just come in and do what they're going to do.
Now they got them crazy ones, like Disney's got those crazy ones with those domes that they sit in and
Yeah.
film. It looks like they can change the environment like that. Like a whole
Right.
Mandalorian shot on one of those dome things. It's wild.
And that's what's important. Simple execution beats everything.
Right.
You know, um, seeing these young YouTubers out here trying to do all this multi-cam stuff and where they're trying to coordinate all these different looks and everything is hard, and you can get a good product out of it, but the learning curve is brutal
Yeah.
to try to learn it. To learn how to use time code to sync your cameras,
Yeah. Good luck with that. I've done that.
it's not fun. And I know how to do
No.
it, but it's a process. So start simple, and understand that most business owners, the thing that they're not doing is taking their iPhone and recording their business, walking in the door, showing people what they can expect. They're not doing that.
And what's wild is that when you see a successful business, let's use a pizza shop just because that's where my
Mhm.
mind goes. You see a successful pizza shop, what are they doing? They are just popping that phone out and hey, Joey, we're gonna go live real quick.
Mhm.
I see you're making a pizza. Let's just go live real quick. Let's talk about what we're doing today for you know 10 minutes or so.
Right.
And that's all they're doing. That's not hard.
I mean, so even now, so right now I am scrolling through. My wife and I went to Tasty Pizza a couple of weeks ago on a flyer because we did the pizza place we were going to. I'm like, I don't want to go there. And so we were out and about, and it's like, well, we can pick up a pizza. So we ended up at Tasty Pizza, over in I think it's off of Grover Street.
Yeah,
And
60th.
we walked in, and I'm like, oh, this is a little tiny place. It was packed,
Right.
wall to wall people. They got a freezer that has all their pizzas. You can buy their pizzas frozen if you want. Um, but anyway, we had two pretty damn good pizzas from that place, right? The thing is, um, when you go to their social media, because that's where I'm on right now, I'm on their Facebook. Their Facebook is pictures of pizzas that they like as they're making pizzas. And constantly people are liking the pizzas.
Right.
And that's their entire social media output. Now, they could do videos if they wanted to. They probably could do a really good video because that place is really, really, what's the word? Camera friendly.
Yeah.
But they haven't yet. But I think they might have a couple of reels now that I think about it. Yeah, they have reels about
I
how
mean,
they
they're
make their pizzas. But
they're consistently 100 likes,
yeah,
you know, 42 likes, 50 likes, 100 likes. Yeah. I
it,
mean,
right. And it's just showing people what they do on a daily basis consistently. And that's what's scoring them the business. It doesn't have to be complex, guys. You know, just show what you do, show your work.
yeah.
And it could be video, it could be audio, it could be anything. I just
Yeah.
I want you guys to get into the repetition part of it and find the thing that works for you. Because if you don't get the reps in, you're not going to know what works for you.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing to start pushing. And I know we've been preaching it, but like I think I'm really gonna pressure people into like just do the reps. Just start walking. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Walk
Right.
to the end of your driveway and back. Walk to the end of your street and back. Just like that's how you start walking and that's how you start running. Is I don't know if you've ever heard like the couch to 5K or whatever, that
Yeah.
method. And that's how it starts. Go outside, walk to into your driveway and walk back and call it that's a win. So like Brian's saying, go for your business, post a picture today.
Hmm.
Hell, post a picture that don't say anything about it.
Yeah. Just show what you do.
And then tomorrow post another picture, write something about it. You know?
You know, because that's simple. And I think when we talk about marketing, and maybe this is the biggest point, Brian, it might be something for me and you to take home. For me and you, when we talk about marketing, we see marketing as this holistic thing.
Right.
Like it encompasses everything you do in your business, right? Like it informs all the whys and
Mm-hmm.
what for is in your business. Um, for most people, when they think marketing, it's just a vague term. It's just a hollow, empty term, and people don't necessarily know what marketing is. They know it has something to do with making videos or posting stuff. That's kind of how they break it down.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I've been
so
in it for 24 years, and I'd say, other than my wife, nobody knows what the hell I do.
right.
That's wild to me. Oh, he's something in marketing or advertising or something.
Mhm.
That's kind of what they tell people.
And in the attention economy, we're the prospectors. We're the ones that go out and mine for attention
Right.
and then try to bank the attention for you. And I think oftentimes that's the best way to describe marketing is we go and figure out who we're figuring out what audiences should be paying attention to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the easiest way that I can break down what marketing is. But oftentimes, even like we say marketing, I say I'm a marketer. So what does that mean? Well, I market things. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, marketing is the art of finding a market. Okay, so what does that mean? I go out and harvest attention.
Right.
I collect attention. I figure out where the attention is coming from, and then I try to point the business at it and put the business in the path of that attention. I court attention.
Yeah.
And in order to get proficient at your business, sometimes you're going to have to court attention.
Yeah. It's like I'm dealing with an opportunity to be part of another startup and have an equity stake and stuff, but it's like they want marketing help. This is how I'm introduced to this guy, right? He
Yep.
wants marketing help. He has no clue what that means. And I'm actually driving down to Missouri to meet with him this Friday, and I have to have real, not difficult conversations, but like serious conversations. Say, look,
Mhm.
marketing is not just like you have these products and I can just go magic wand this and everybody's going to come to these software products that you've developed. It doesn't
Right.
work that way. I can strategize. I can give you a plan. I can give you how this works and the roadmap. And you know, it's 90 days for the first heavy lifting part. And then it can go another 18 months before you see traction.
Yeah.
But do you understand that it's going to be, someone has to be on camera. Someone has to do this. Someone has to do that. I mean, I can't do the 6 or 7 jobs by myself. And like, I don't have that kind of time.
Right.
You're gonna give me 50% equity? Like, I mean, that's not gonna. I'm not being that shrewd or anything. I'm just saying
Yeah.
they have to. A lot of people don't understand what it encompasses. I wonder if I can give me a quick second. You can chat a little bit. I'm gonna.
Mhm.
This is good for everybody to understand what entails, what jobs are entailed in marketing, right?
Yeah. So the way I kind of view it is I'm supposed to be the ringmaster. And unfortunately, in the lifespan of my agency, I've been the lion tamer, I've been the elephant trainer, I've been the guy that scoops up all the poop after the animals leave, the guy who puts the tent up, the guy who tears the tent down, the guy who takes the money at the ticket counter, and all that other stuff. And that's kind of been my role in my agency. But ideally, a marketing agency is going to coordinate your video creative. They're going to make sure that your brand aligns with, internally, externally, making sure all the way down to making sure the employees are all wearing the same kind of color scheme and wearing the right kind of clothes, making sure the logo is consistent across this, that, and the third. Like the marketing guy, the marketing person is the person that has all the hats to make sure that not only are we courting the attention, but when we bring people in the door, the experience is consistent with what we've advertised.
Yeah.
So a
So
marketing
here's the list. This is now, keep in mind, and this is most of the business, but this is for developing a content machine, like
Mhm.
a real one for a company that is ready to, with a budget. 6 positions: strategy slash CMO, a script writer or copywriter, on camera talent, editing, an editor,
Mhm.
posting and community management, distribution,
Mhm.
and then analytics, your data guy. So you know what's working and what's not working.
Mhm.
That's what it takes just for a really good go-to-market type content machine. Each one of those on the low end, 85 grand a year
Yeah.
until you get to CMO, and those are going to be minimum 150 a year.
Mhm.
And I'm not patting myself on the back or patting you on the back. I'm saying people don't understand what is actually involved.
Right.
Now, I don't want to scare people either, but the reality is the reality. Those 6 things I just listed off: strategy, script, on camera, editing, posting, watching the data. The pizza shops, the boutiques, the whatever that are killing it inherently do those things
Mhm.
by going live or doing reels or whatever real quick every day, seeing what works, and they stick with it.
Yeah.
So it's both super complex, can be, or it can do all those 6 things by yourself rapidly on a budget with an iPhone.
Right. And
So there's a weird dichotomy, right? Like it's serious, but you can also do it all yourself. Don't be scared. So that's kind of where I think Brian's getting is there's this dichotomy of like people don't understand what marketing is because of that. Like, is it super serious or is it like this? What I don't understand where we live, you know?
mhm. Well, I get the question of more times than not. Well, I don't know what you can do. Okay. Well, I need somebody to run ads. Well, I know how to do that. They're on Facebook. I know how to do that. Well, they're on Google. I know how to do that. Need somebody to shoot video. I know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Need somebody to edit video. I can do that. Need somebody who can edit photos and build flyers. I can do that, and I can do that. I need somebody to um, write the words that go on my web page. I can do that. I need somebody to write something that goes on my social media. Well, I can do that too. I can do all of this stuff. What do you need? What does your business need? What do you need to be successful? And I think that's
That
that is the thing that marketing is. It's the thing. It's figuring out what it needs for your business to be successful, internally and externally. And um, I just thought of a product, Brian. We're going to talk about this off air, but in um, in the idea of like small business owners, a lot of them do not have the capacity to keep track of all these balls in the air. But that's the thing that's separating the small business owners from being the large small business owners. If you're in business, you know what I mean by that. There are small business owners, and then there are very 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 large small business owners. Okay,
mm-hmm.
the thing that's keeping them from being a large small business owner are the things that they don't have. They don't know, like when they spend on their creative, it's a disjointed process. When their clients come in, there's no consistent inbound process. There's no specific ongoing outreach for leads. There's so many different things that are not happening. That's what you end up hiring a marketer for. And oftentimes a marketer gets put in the position, you get hired to do one or two specific things, but you see these other 5 things over here aren't working, and they're preventing the one specific thing that you're doing from being effective. And
that that is what I have trouble articulating to people because that is what I do best. And again, I'm not patting myself on the backs.
Mhm.
It is going in. I inherently know that every business is custom,
Uh-huh.
a custom problem. You approach me because you want a website. I come look at your business and say, your website means nothing
Yeah.
to your business. You want your website to look what? Because you want to make it look pretty for the 20 people that come there every month.
Hmm.
You need to be dumping money into your Google business profile and producing content for that and producing content for wherever your attention is. Facebook usually for owner operator local
Hmm.
people. Um yeah, man, like you find like you said, you go in there to do a website and you're like, this ain't your problem. You got these 5 major issues over here
Yeah.
that you need some attention. You're spending how much from some SEO company? You're spending, $2,500 a month for what?
Right. what do you like? They gave you SEO, but your website doesn't keep anybody on site. So you can drive a bunch of people to the website, but everything's below the fold, or your website loads slowly, or it instantly is not it's not user friendly. It doesn't tell people what to do, or you're directing them to the wrong page. The
You're a,
SEO doesn't mean anything. So you're
you're a
paying this,
store.
yeah.
You're a
You're
store. I don't. You want people in your store. You don't want them at your website necessarily. You know.
uh, if you create more content and get people looking for you, SEO takes care of itself.
100%.
And I think that's the problem. We walk in, hey, I just need somebody to manage my social media. Okay, I'm managing your social media. So we go to your website. Once I get the attention on social media, now drive them to the website. Where do you want me to put them? Because your website doesn't really have any call to action or any click here. There's nothing for them to do when they get there. And that, oh well, I don't know. Okay, so now I got to fix your website now too. And that's what a marketer, that's what a full stack marketer actually does.
Right.
More times than not, when you guys are hiring full stack marketers, you're hiring a video production company. That's what they do. They produce video. Um, or you're hiring a copywriter who just gets paid to write stuff, or a social media manager, and all they do is manage social media accounts. But
Mm-hmm.
you're hiring somebody who says they're a marketer and they don't do other things outside that one discipline. Now, that's how a lot of people get really, really rich in the marketing game. But that's also how a lot of businesses get led astray because they hire somebody who only knows how to do one or two things exceptionally well. And they think that that person is supposed to know all of it. And then what happens is when that person they hire for that thing that they do really, really well, that look back window starts growing. They're like, well, I mean, we doubled, or we 10x'd when you first started. The first month you started and went 10x, but you've only been able to deliver us 2x months ever since. And so now
Right.
we're about to move on from you. And you're like, well, you've had us for 12 months. So in addition to that 10x, that's 24x. Like we 24x your business over the course of a year. But that person that does that thing really, really well, you start assuming that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing when there's other things that are absolutely going wrong that's preventing them from being successful. So when you talk to me and Brian, you're talking to full stack marketers. That's why every time I interact, most of the times I always start with an audit to see where your business is on social media and see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that gives me a footing to have an honest conversation with you about what's not going right, and then we could start reverse engineering, what your media output is. But that's the real, and that's one of the real things about when people hire marketers, because sometimes they hire somebody who's really good at digital design, and they expect them to be the marketer, and that's, well, you're a marketing company. No, I handle the design side of things.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree. And I'm just thinking out loud here, and I'm thinking as you're talking, and there's a big thing that I start every audit with usually is like, where are your data points? Meaning, what are you tracking?
Hmm.
Do you have access to Google Analytics? Do you have uh, your Facebook Pixel and stuff like that set up? And if they don't, that's an immediate red flag to be like, how do you know how you're doing on anything?
Right.
Just by feel? Are you just looking at the revenue? Can you track the revenue to something? Or is it just sheer force that you are a revenue producing business? You
Right.
know, and that's typically the answer. And I don't mean luck or anything like that. I just mean you're powering through running a business when you don't have to all the time.
Hmm.
That's where
You're
the
pl-
systems and shit come in, and you know. So start with the data. If you're not even tracking anything, how do you know where you've been or where you're going?
right.
You know what I mean?
You're playing on hard mode when you don't really have to.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where a lot of business owners end up getting stuck. But again, I got to speak on behalf of the creatives out there, because a lot of creatives end up getting fired just because they are addressing something that was a concern, but it's not the thing, not the real sticking point that the businesses are up against. Um, One of the products I used to do was the unstuck sessions. That's what that came from. Help
Mm-hmm.
business owners figure out where their business is stuck and try to navigate them around the thing that they're stuck. And that was very hard to sell because people could not conceptualize what I was talking about.
Right.
I find out where your business is stuck. What do you mean by that? Well, I figure out what the real roadblocks and log jams are from you for you to do the to do the thing that you envision doing. Well, I mean, what do you do? Everything. And
Right.
if I can't do it, I hire somebody to do it for me.
Yeah, that's why I always go with the mechanic kind of analogy for me is that, I'm kind of a business mechanic. I am a marketer, but I handle everything in a business because I think marketing touches everything in a business. And it's like
Mhm,
your check engine light comes on and you don't all of a sudden say, I need new tires,
mhm.
right? You go and get it checked out and there's something in your engine. That's why the check engine light came on. It didn't say check tires. You know what I
Right.
mean? And to also hit like I feel bad for some of the creatives too because you got a website developer or designer out there and somebody comes up to them, they're in a group or something. It's like, hey, I really, really need a new website. You think you can come look and see what we can do to build me a new website? This guy's like, great, got a lead, gonna go design this website. And then they get mad. The client gets mad because they have this beautiful website, but they don't see an uptick in business. Well, that's
Mhm.
not that guy's business.
Yeah.
He developed you what you wanted done. He's a designer and a developer, not a marketer.
He painted the billboard. He
Right.
designed it. Now you got to find somebody to go install it somewhere where people are going to see it.
Right.
And or because I've been in this, and this is why I stopped doing websites. My very first website that I did for a client that was paid work, they hired me to do the website. Ask me how much I charge for this.
How much you charge for it?
I charge $1,200 total. 600 on the front end, 600 on delivery. That was my first mistake. um, but they hired me and I'm building the website. I got all the pages laid out. I was like, all right, so what do you need me to put on the homepage? What? Yeah, what do you want me to write on the homepage for you? Like, what do you have the stuff that I can just copy and paste on the homepage? Like, have you written that yet? What do you mean? What do you want to put on the web? Like, what words and pictures do you want to put on the website that I created this shell for so we can start populating this thing? Well, aren't you supposed to do that? No,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm going to have to because I don't know enough about this business model to understand that this is a thing that I need to be charging you guys more for.
Right.
Um, a lot of web designers get caught in this trap where their clients know nothing about what it takes to build a website and they just hire somebody to build a website and then they don't know that you need somebody to write the words. Either you're going to write the words or you're going to pay somebody to write the words or the words exist somewhere about your business somewhere else that all you got to do is just copy and paste them onto the website.
Right.
And that is a thing. And then they're mad at the web designer, you know, they get mad at the guy who works on mufflers because he couldn't figure out what was wrong with the transmission. And
Yeah.
so um oftentimes you guys aren't necessarily hiring the master mechanic, you're hiring the person that specializes in one part of the vehicle.
Right. Hire the master mechanic.
Yeah.
Hire the full stack marketer slash full stack agency.
Mhm.
Now, I will tell you a lot of. Nah, I won't go into that. I was gonna say there's a lot of almost every agency says they do everything,
Mhm.
and that's okay. Um, but the real experience is what Brian's talking about, and the point I'm trying to make too is that finding the right fix for your business,
Mhm.
right? So let's go back to the car analogy. You could have a smoking engine, beautiful paint, interiors dressed to the nines, all leather.
Mhm.
If you got a flat tire, the car is useless,
Right.
right? So we have to, and if somebody's trying to sell you, ceramic coating for your car that you can't drive, they're wasting your time and your money. I'm going to
Right.
come in and go, well, there's your problem. You got a flat tire. I fix a flat tire and get your car moving again. That's the difference between someone with experience like Brian and I have and somebody that's specializes in something but says they do everything.
And that's
And
why
I'm not
we
I'm not trying to pick on marketers,
yeah.
agencies. I'm just saying that I hear that so often over the last 24 years about how people get burned by marketing companies, and I've heard it so many times that it puts me off from the industry.
Well, and oftentimes what they're attributing to the marketing companies in general is they didn't necessarily like, because the other side is, and this is something I was huge about like midstream, midway through the last 10 years. I'm like, hey, you're not going to hire me and just shut your brain off.
Right.
You can't hire me and just shut your business brain off and just have the marketing done to you. I'm going to need your involvement in this process. This is a partnership. This is a collaboration. Because if it's all me and it's just my voice marketing your business, then it's not really your business.
Hmm.
It's somebody else that uh, isn't necessarily connect. It's an outsider to your business talking about your business, and that's never the way that you want to present your stuff on social media. You want to hire somebody that's going to tell you this is the message. Put it in your own words, or here's a message I came up with. How can we make it fit you so that you can reach your clients? These are the things we're talking about here. But there's so many, like, again, so many creatives end up getting caught under the axe of either wanting to wear all the hats like I did, or doing something really, really good, doing one thing really, really good, and having to learn how to do other things on the fly, and the outcomes aren't so great.
Yeah.
And for newer people, they don't necessarily know you need to be upcharging and asking for more money when you do these things. So that's the goal, guys. I mean, and for a lot of business owners, the reason why you're struggling to beat the people that are leading your industry and leading your local market is because they put the time in to think about the things that you didn't. Um, your follow-up systems, their social media outreach, all of that stuff. They're executing the boring stuff outside of your view, and you're not aware of it.
Yeah, I agree because you can't be the guy that's like, well, I don't do Facebook. Say you're some sort of construction contractor or
Mhm.
something. I don't really do Facebook. I don't do social media, and you wonder why the company that is your biggest competitor or the leader in the industry in your location is doing 55 million a year
Mhm.
in project revenue. It's because they're doing the things that you won't do. It's not
Right.
because they've lucked out. It's not because you know you I see it all the time. People been around. I've been in the business for 25 years, and this place is only 10 years. And you want to go with that guy with all the fancy pants stuff, and it's like that fancy pants stuff, the matching shirts, the videos they put on social media. That's
Mhm.
what gets them to $500 million a year.
Yeah. And the reason why is because they see them. They don't see you.
Right.
They're not seeing you out there. And they're not you're delivering them fluff, or you're not delivering them content that engages them. You know, the tasty pizzas, I'll go back to them. The pizzas aren't giving you instructions. They're not telling you what to do.
Hmm.
They're whetting your appetite. They're showing you how good these look. And that's what it is to get you in the mode of thinking, all right, I know where I'm going tonight. That's what the content is meant to do. It's meant to provoke a reaction. And oftentimes some of these business owners, "Well, I don't do the social media thing." Well, then you're never going to get seen, and you got to be fine with not being seen. But that
Right.
also means that you have such a strong word of mouth campaign running, which is another marketing side of things, that people are coming to you without social media. And in this digital age, there are fewer and fewer companies that can do that.
Right.
And
And I
so,
and I would say if you are living on word of mouth and you're doing pretty well for yourself, you could almost guarantee, and I can't guarantee anything, but you can triple, quadruple, double, whatever your business by adding digital and social to that.
yeah.
You know, and people don't like change. I understand that. I completely do. I deal with it a lot with some of the clients that I deal with, but um, just know that if you have goals, there are requirements. There are things that I tell my clients these are the things they're pay to play. If you want to play in this pool, if you want to play in this game in this industry, there are things you have to there are requirements that are
Mhm.
required from you. Um, unless you just want to stay where you're at. In that case, we don't need to do anything, and you could
Right.
just keep living the way you're living. But
Stay where you are.
if you want to grow, there are requirements.
So we built the marketing foundry for you guys to come in and learn the basics of marketing so you can get proficient at either supervising people or looking at your own marketing with a critical eye and realizing where the gaps are, what you can fill, what you might need help filling, and it gives you access to two marketing guys that have been doing this for a long time. That's why we built it and that's why it's free. The reason why the classes are paid is because these are going to be some of these classes are going to be higher level knowledge that we would normally charge people for. Now, if you ask us something straight up, be honest with you, if you ask us some straight up, we don't hold anything back. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to do to reach your goals. But the reason why we're building the classes and some of the courses is going to cost because I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is a marketer telling you this. People value things that they pay for,
Yeah.
and we there's a whole conversation Brian and I had regarding about whether we make the foundry free or if we charge through the nose for it. We decided to make it free, but then the stuff that requires more from us is going to have a fee attached to it. But price is your positioning. Price is the signal you're sending to your market. If you're too cheap, even though you may deliver high quality stuff, if you're too cheap, people are going to think that you're a discount option. I
Mhm.
go back to that pizza place we went to. They weren't the cheapest, they weren't the most expensive, but I guarantee you, if they were charging like Little Caesars for their stuff, we probably wouldn't have been there because we have an expectation of what Little Caesars is and what it's going to be. My wife loves their cheese pizza at Little Caesars, but we also have a specific expectation. If that Little Caesars pizza all of a sudden costs $27 per pizza, we gonna have a problem with that. We won't go there anymore. That's what we're talking about. So
You're
that's
itching
why
my
we built the
brain.
foundry.
You're itching my brain a little bit. People are asleep on Little Caesars. I'm just gonna say that out loud.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
sleeping on Little Caesars. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing bet when I was in college, nothing beat no, there was nothing, there's no fast food option that beat Little Caesars consistently. None. Nothing can match it.
Back then, when they were doing the $5 hot and ready,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now
It's
it's like
just
$7, $8, but whatever.
but that's what we're saying, guys. That's why we opened the foundry. We want you guys in there. We want serious business owners in there because when we
Mhm.
start getting serious business owners, we start having serious conversations in there. It increases the residual value for everybody that's involved. So if you're seeing this and you want to join, you're going to find the link. I think I might have to pin it or whatever, but you're going to find the link for the foundry. I'll go ahead and copy and paste it so that you guys can join, but it's free. And plus, it gives you access to the client clarity tool. $17 will identify specifically who you are talking to and give you the ad copy that you need to engage those people. So,
Yep. I don't got anything to add to it. I mean, I feel like we beat the dead horse, but join the foundry. It's
yeah,
it's how it's how you're gonna get the best access to Brian and I and to the products that we put in there. Again, there's paid one, there's free ones. Take what you can, buy what you can, and hit us up if you have questions.
yep,
That's pretty much all I got.
that's what we got. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Come with questions, guys. That's what we're here for. That's why we have the office hours. Jump in with questions that you have. If you're in the community and you see this after the fact, because I'm going to post this, bring your marketing questions. That's why we open up the office hours, guys, for questions and conversations about marketing and advertising stuff. So
I'm gonna post it
anyway,
right now. I'm gonna post it and tell everybody, give us your questions.
yep. So that's what I got. We're gonna wrap this up. And Brian, I got this idea I got to talk to you about.
Sounds
All right.
good. Thanks for
So
tuning in, everybody. We'll see you
thanks for
next week.
tuning in.